Yeah. Uh-huh.
You are clear for launch, and with that, shut down your visors, O2 on, and prepare for ignition, 202. EPP, copy that, and, initiating a full 10-4-4.
Gracious God, creator of the universe, and yet the lover of my soul. Alpha and Omega, and yet I can call you friend. I don't have to beg you for anything, but I can thank you for everything. God, I thank you because this is the day that you have made, and I can rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for this day of magnificence and glory and splendor. God, I thank you for life, health, and for strength. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for peace, love, and joy. I thank you for the essence of you that envelops me right now, from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. We thank you for this day of manifestation. We thank you for the day of revelation. We thank you for the day of impartation. We thank you as you move in the midst of your people to bring us to the greatest times that we've ever seen since the foundation of the world. Thank you, Lord, that for this time and for this season, you've allowed us to be a part of your move in the face of the earth. I thank you, God, for the revolution that you're bringing forth, God, even in the midst of the earth right now. And I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing in this hour, because in the last days, saith God, you said you would pour out your spirit on all flesh. And so now we thank you for the pouring out. God, I thank you for the rain and the move of your spirit. I thank you for fresh oil. I thank you for new wine. I thank you for the new thing that you're doing. I thank you now that it does spring forth. I thank you, Lord, that you've called us to be the head and not the tail. You've called us to be above only and not beneath. You've called us to be the lender and not the borrower. You've called, God, that our storehouses would be full and increase. God, I thank you because even I decree and declare that the people under the sound of my voice, even now, are moving in the might of your strength. Not by might nor by power, but by your spirit. I thank you for those that are the sons and daughters of God that are called because they walk not after the flesh, but after your spirit. I thank you for the rising up of the people of your kingdom. I thank you that your kingdom come. I thank you that your will be done, even now in earth as it is in heaven. I thank you, Lord, because you are moving in the midst of your people mightily as never before. Raise us up, oh God, to the standard of what you've called us to be. God, I thank you for the standard of greatness. I thank you for the standard of holiness. I thank you for the standard of moving as the sons and daughters of yours, and not as vagabonds, not as those that never knew you, not as those that are confused and confounded, but God, those that know who they are in you. I thank you for the knowing. I thank you, God, for knowing you. I thank you for knowing your presence. Thank you for knowing your Holy Ghost power that gives us the ability to be successful. Your anointing that gives us the power to rise up and be called blessed. Thank you for that is in us. Thank you, God, for all things that pertain to life and godliness. Thank you because we are not confused. We are not deceived. And we thank you for that clarity of mind and the clarity of vision that allows us to walk forth as kings and queens, as princes and princesses in the kingdom that walk in the earth. We thank you that we are your beloved, and we rise up as the apple of your eye. We rise up, oh God, as those that you love with all of your heart. And God, we love you back. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for soundness of spirit. I thank you that healing is our bread. Healing is our deliverance. By the stripes of Jesus, we're already healed. And we speak forth that healing even now for those that need it. Thank you, God, for every stripe that was taken. Thank you for the bruising. Thank you that he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. God, with those same stripes we declare and we speak healing in Jesus' name. We give you glory. We give you peace. We give you honor. We give you blessing. We give you might. We ascribe all of these things unto you because they are yours. Thank you. The fruit of my lips giving thanks unto your name. Ever giving you all that is yours. Glory, honor, power, dominion, majesty. It's yours. I decree it and I speak it In the mighty name of Jesus, it is so. Amen and amen.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to welcome you to today's edition of Yes You O Cubed. What does O Cubed stand for? One-on-one, because it's just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I'm so glad that you joined me on today. Oh my goodness, can you believe that it's Friday Eve? I just cannot. This time last week, I was well on my way driving to Richmond, Virginia, and it's a whole week later, and it seems like it was just yesterday. Today is Friday Eve, y'all. It's Thursday, May the 26th in the year 2022. And I tell you what, it's just good to be here. Thank you so much, y'all. Thank you for the comments on the hat. I tell you what, this is a part of what I got when I went to my award ceremony that I received the other week. And I tell you, I just wanted to have an opportunity to put it on my head. I tell you, I feel good. I feel good. I feel good all the way down in my shondo. And something about this hat's making me feel a little spicy. Yeah, I feel a little spicy this morning. Just a little sugar and spice and everything nice. That's what I feel today, y'all. It's good to be here, and I want to appreciate every last one of you that have come into the Lion's Den this morning to spend some time with me and the rest of the Lions that are here. It is such a blessing to share with one another in the Lion's Den. Now, you know how we get it started, y'all. You know how we get it started. We like to look at who came in bringing that love, soul, peace, and happiness into the... Is that Michelle Browno? Is that Michelle Browno? Is that Michelle Browno at 7 o'clock in the a.m.? Oh my God! The heavens are coming to me, like when my auntie sang that song. Precious Lord. Did you see that cloud move? Michelle Browno is in the room. Okay, I just wanted to mess with you a little bit, Michelle. I love you, girl. I love you. Now, come on. We're going to look and see who got their lips, their hips, and their fingertips in Grandpa Holmes' chair this morning. It's a beautiful day, and I'm telling you, at 12 o'clock in the a.m., they were already lined up in the Lion's Den. Then we kind of had a little slow fall off, but then they came back. So listen, I want to come through and give the props to those that came in and make sure that we had the love, joy, peace, and happiness in the Lion's Den. So let's get this party crack-a-lacking. Let's get this party started. Oh Lord, where is my picture? I'm looking for my sister. There she is. And here we go. The third person in the Lion's Den this morning, the third person in the Lion's Den this morning was none other than Tall Pumps. Tall Pumps, you did that thing this morning. Come on in here. Good morning to you. You can go ahead and have a seat right over there on the love seat. And I appreciate you for making sure the love was up in here this morning. And as you always say, good morning to the Lions. Good morning to you. Now, the second person in the Lion's Den this morning was none other than Truck driver, you did that thing. You were up bright and early, or I should say dark and early this morning. You did your thing and came on in saying good morning to the Lions. I appreciate you. That's my Mufasa right there. That's my Mufasa. Go over there and sit down with Tall Pumps. And I don't know what kind of acting up y'all gonna do on that love seat, because I think I probably need to separate you and Tall Pumps, and then the first winner, the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair. I think y'all gonna do some cutting up this morning. I think the three of y'all might be dangerous, but the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair is none other than Anita Harvey. Anita Harvey, you are the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair. Come on and get your lips, your hips, and your fingertips. Choose your seat and sit down. You did that. You did that. You did that. Otherwise known as BTD Mom. Oh my goodness. These three truck driver, Tall Pump says she won't bite you. I'm gonna leave that alone. Cause listen, all of that they got going on. If y'all went in Rebel's channel yesterday, for everybody that went over there for anti-morning bangos, I tell you what, nibbles and bits. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave that for the Rebel Inc. Cause listen, they cutting up over there, y'all. They putting out the fires in hell. So listen, at the end of the day, I appreciate all three of you. Let me give you some love. Appreciate you. And I can already tell I probably need to separate all three of y'all from one another. But thank you for coming in the Lion's Den and bringing that love, peace, soul, and happiness. Now, you know how I do it. I like to stop at this juncture of the road and appreciate all of our beautiful moderators. Yes, the Blessed Trinity. We start off with Shelly Thunder. That's my prophetess. She comes in and I tell you what, up above my head, I hear thunder in the air, and I know there's a Shelly Thunder somewhere. Then we got the leader of the pack, none other than the Rebel Inc. Yes, the Rebel Inc. And those videos that she's showing on the anti-morning bangos, y'all, I'm telling you, you better clutch your pearls, because I'm telling you, grab your weave, grab your wig, because the Rebel is over there cutting up. If you're not following her, please follow her. She will bless your whole life. I looked up yesterday and she got rated by Q, the mixologist. Over 200 folk in there. I was so happy for her. You just don't know. I got absolutely pleased, overjoyed, and tickled to death. Congratulations, Rebel. Loved that raid. Loved all the people that were exposed to your blessed ministry. It's really a ministry, even though y'all cut up and are definitely righteous and ratchet, but you do it in such a grand way. I can't complain. Then we got, yes, the Quiet Storm. The Quiet Storm is the third part of this Blessed Trinity, none other than Michelle Brownell. Thank you for that love. Thank you for that mod love, because these babies take care of business in here, and I appreciate them for all that they do. Now, as we come on down, and I want to tell you, go ahead and get your coffee cup out. We're going to have a little conversation on today, and we're going to talk and chit chat, share some love. But before we do that, you know how I do it. I like to just walk around the room from the upstairs to the downstairs in the Lion's Den and say good morning to everybody. You know, I got to speak to everybody. I want to say thank you for coming in the Lion's Den, and I don't want you to ever think that I take for granted that you took your time, energy, and effort to come into the Lion's Den and just share some love. No matter how long you can stay, I just appreciate the fact that you came through. Now, looky here. Get your coffee cup out. And I want to say good morning to the Rebel Inc. Come on in here, the Galactic Supervisor. Do your thing. I'm so glad to have you here. Stacy 546, I appreciate you, and I appreciate you being a caregiver. So much love. Come on, put some hearts in the chat for everybody that may be a caregiver. It's more than just a notion. Thank you for all that you do and the love that you share. Missed you yesterday after you had to leave, but I'm just sending you all kind of energy and love, because I know that can be a very challenging task, but you got that kind of love that you can do it. Cassandra Isaiah, she's in the room, y'all. Cassie, sassy, classy. Classy and Cassie, sassy, Cassie. I got to get all those in there, can't I? Cassandra Isaiah is in the room, and I want to say good morning to you. I'm coming on down. Fairly all day is my dearest. Thank you for those love. Thank you for those hearts. Thank you for that sunshine. Just send it on down. Fairly All Day is in the room, and I want to appreciate you, my dearest, for being here. My dearest friend, I love you. I absolutely do. The evangelist is in the room this morning. Kai Chick is here, y'all. Kai Chick is here, and I appreciate you for all that you do in the Lions Den. Come on in there. Den Darn, I see you. Good morning to you. Mad love, and I mean, you got up bright and early this morning and came on in the Lions Den. Thank you so much for doing that. I'm so appreciative to you. I cannot believe that Michelle Browno is in the room. I know, Fairly All Day is driving. She's driving. Did you see them cars and all that smoke? She doing some serious driving. I cracked up. Jonna CPW, I'm so glad that school is out, and I'm so glad that you're back. Now get your coffee cup out. Get your coffee cup out, because I see you, dear, and I'm so glad. You got your coffee cup and stuff. Come on in here. HR puffing stuff. Can't get a little because you can't get enough. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Anyway, coming on down, and I see 440 Shorty. Come on in the room, my sister. Come on, and I see you. So much love coming to you. SK8843, I appreciate you. 20 months you have been here in the Lions Den, a founding member, a founding subscriber. I appreciate you, SK8843. Let's keep doing this together. How about it? Sheila Miles is in the room. Psalmist 4, happy Thursday to you, Queen. So good to see you. And I see you roaring, and I see no cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black because we tells it like it T-I-Z, tis. Come on up in here, MCP 812. That's my girl. Come on in, and we got 11 months together here in the den. Thank you for that resub today. I appreciate you, sis, and I love you. I absolutely positively do. Come through. I'm coming on down, and yes, I'm seeing who else has come into the Lions Den. And I'm checking it out. I'm looking and I'm booking. I think Tall Pumps is pumping tall. Good morning to you. Good morning. Come on. We had to get a little spicy this morning. Sometimes you just got to spice it up. You know, Tall Pumps, sometimes you just got to spice it up. And thank you so much for the compliments. I love everybody in here. You're so kind. Now, coming on down. Let's see who else is in here. And Crazy Berrytown. Come on, beautiful. I see you. Yes, I do. And she came in with boss energy, y'all. She is a streamer. She is our leader of Zumba. And I do believe it's today the day, Crazy Berrytown, 8:30 this morning. If you're coming on at 8:30, I believe you are. If you're coming on at 8:30, we gonna raid you. And if I missed my time, y'all just count it to my head. Cause listen, my memory is just not as sharp as it used to be. But I think this morning, 9:30 Eastern time, which is 8:30 Central time. I believe we're gonna have some Zumba up in the house. So correct me if I'm wrong. Come on, Teresa Gray, 1961. Welcome to the Lions Den, and thank you for the follow. I appreciate you, and come on in here. Come on. Anita, I'm telling you, that's my girl. I appreciate BTD Mom. That's my girl. So much love to her. And I mean, at 12 o'clock on the dot, she was in here and ready to go. I'm telling you, that's the way they do it in the Lions Den. I love every last one of you. Mother said, putting out the fires in hell. Yes, I did. They gonna be putting out the fires in hell. I already know it. Now we come on down. That's what the Lions do. I'm just telling you, that's what the Lions do. I'm coming on down, and I'm trying to go down to the basement. Joanna G98 came in while I was upstairs. Come on in the Lions Den, and good morning to you. I appreciate you for being in the Lions Den. I'm coming on down, and I'm coming on down. Make sure I got everybody up in here. Now, at the end of the day, I think we're in good space. I think we're in a good place. Scrolling real slowly because I don't want to miss anybody that's in my chat. And with that, let me always say, even if you're not in my chat, I appreciate you for being here in the Lion's Den. Now we're praying traveling mercies because Teresa Jones, my 411 Connect, she's traveling to Barbados even as we speak. So we're going to send up prayers of traveling mercies for her, that she makes it there, has an absolutely phenomenal time, and makes it back safely. Because it's been changed to 12 noon. Thank you. I see you. It's been changed to 12 noon Eastern time. So listen, at 12 noon Eastern, 11 o'clock Central, y'all get your lips, hips, and fingertips over there in the Crazy Berry Town stream so that you can get that Zumba on and get your body right. I think I've got everybody. So good morning to you. So much love, peace, joy, and happiness has already been provided in the room by those that came in the VIP section. Yes, we know BTD Mom, we know Truck Driver, and we know that Tall Pumps, they always come loaded, fully loaded, locked and loaded with a whole lot of love. Thank everybody for coming in here. Now, the gift, Grand Nathan Lamont, I see you. Grand rising to you. Grand rising. And I'm so glad I looked up and saw you. That's my squalling, baby. I'm telling you. Y'all know singing is good, and I love good singing, but good singers that can squall too, honey, you got me any day. If you can give me a good squall, baby, you got me any day. And that would be Nathan Lamont. I'm so glad to see you this morning, baby. Let's get this party crack-a-lackin'. Let's get this party started. And you know, we come in talking about what had happened was, wow, we slumbered, slept, and slobbered. You know, there's some interesting things going on. I don't know if everybody's aware of this little tidbit that kind of surprised me this morning. If you're in the stock market, you know, you might want to pay attention, because food and drink, the food and drink industry is having just a little bit of a challenge, whether you realize it or not. I gotta praise, and I gotta get it out. Come on, Cassandra, I'm not mad at you. You don't know, like I know all he's come on now. She's in a listen, y'all. Now wait a minute, you ain't said nothing but a word, because you in the Lion's Den. You not someplace else, baby. You in the Lion's Den. And listen, when they come in giving praise, and when they come in shouting, we know how to rejoice with those that rejoice and weep with those that weep. So come on here, we're gonna do this. And listen, won't he do it? Yes, he will. Cassandra done come in full happy and shouting, y'all, and she feels something down in her shondo. You better ask somebody. I'm not mad at you, Cassandra. She said she gotta praise, and she's got to get it out. She gotta praise. You better get your praise on, Cassandra. Get your praise. Walk over here to get over here. Woo! You better get your praise on. She said, I gotta praise. I gotta She said, thank you, Daddy. You better ask somebody. I see him doing it, y'all. I see him doing it. So listen, I am so glad that Cassandra came in. Listen, she got a praise and she had to get it out. And it looks like some of y'all understand the assignment. Baby, when they come in and they're ready to go, we're ready to go with you. So listen, Cassandra, thank you for the praise break this morning. And I'm glad that you came in with the praise that you had to get out. And I'm thankful for everybody that joined on the dance floor, because listen, he's doing exceedingly abundantly above all that we could ask or think, and he's worthy of that praise. You better ask somebody. I see you, SK. Hey, honey, thank you still going on down in the Shondo. I see the thank you still going. Y'all ain't gonna mess me today. You can't get your lashes on. Tall pumps, you can't get your lashes on. Baby, they came in praising, and I'm not mad. I am not mad at all. And with that, y'all know that's how we do it in the Lions Den. Ain't no shame in our game, because we will pick them up and put them down. Woo! And you know what? I think it was even good to have a pick them up and put them down before we get into these conversations and the topics and everything, because at the end of the day, you woke up this morning clothed and in your right mind. You got a roof over your head. You have sanity. That's huge in these days and times. You have sanity. You didn't wake up crazy. Listen, that's something to stop and give God some glory for. It really, really is. That's a reason. And what did he say? I got a reason to praise the Lord. I got a reason. My son that has been through 6 surgeries, died to diabetes, is almost completely healed, and drove his daughter to Ohio to spend the summer. You was on a car accident and walked and Cassandra, come on through with that praise. Come on through with that praise. And listen, when your children survive situations, and when you come on, you got a praise report too. Why you got a grant on yesterday? Come on, and you didn't come on. No, don't play. We got testimony service. He's a healer. He's a provider. He's a way maker. Won't he do it? Oh my God! Come on! Come on with these testimonies. You better ask miracles, signs and wonders. Oh my God! Good morning, bearded baritone. Miracles, signs and wonders. Oh, you didn't hear me. I said miracles, signs and wonders. Hey, my God! He's a provider. He's a healer. He's a way maker. Won't he do it? Won't he do it, Stacy? Won't he do it? My goodness! That's right, bearded baritone. He is a streamer, and he came in hitting the flow. Hit the flow. Come on, Roll Concessions. Good morning to you, Iron. Hit the flow. Oh, we got testimonies going on in here. Miracles, signs, and wonders. The Lions Den is lit this morning. You better come on and testify. He did that thing, Tall Pump. He did that. Wow. Oh, wait. Hey, I felt something right there. Oh my God. You know I can't do a whole lot of that and something starts turning and burning. I got the whole, hey, my God. Woo, he did a thing. You understand? Did y'all hear what Tall Pump said? He did a thing. He did that thing. She didn't even ask. And the grant just showed up. Hey, signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours. Woo! Don't play. Ha! He did a thing. Ha! He did that. God did that. Woo! Ha! Woo! That's why I said, do you need God to fix it. I see him doing it. I see him doing it. My God. Woo. Come on, Crazy Bear Town. Send that praise up. Come on, MCP 812. Come on, God Chick. Come on, SK 8843. Because it didn't have to do it, but it is. My God. Woo! Y'all better come on and get that praise in. Now, you know what? That's better than any story that I could tell while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered. Come on, Michelle Brownell. And you know what? Michelle Brownell, y'all know I already said that's my miracle sign and my wonder right there. And I'm going to pick it up for Michelle Brown because she's still here in the land of the living and got so many more things that God's getting ready to release in her life. You better give God some praise for the miracle sign and wonder right here amongst us. Don't play in the last stand. Don't come in here playing. Woo! I see him doing it. My God. The eagle has landed. You better ask somebody. Woo! Miracles. Signs and wonders. I said miracles. Signs and wonders. Michelle, eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard. Now y'all know that's the way to start your day. That's the way to start the morning. Honey, that's the way you start your morning right there, Kai Chick. Michelle Brownell. That's the way you start your morning, MCP 812. Honey, this coffee is strong this morning, and it's a wake-up kind of coffee. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. I appreciate the testimonies. I appreciate the deliverances. I appreciate all that is being done in the Lion's Den. Lions, y'all just keep on testifying. Now that's my kind of morning. While we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, the Lord made a way. How about that? While we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, the Lord paid a bill. I didn't even ask for the Lord to pay it, but it was paid. While we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, the Lord healed my body. And while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, the Lord healed my son, my child's body. Come on, this is what I'm talking about. When God decides to happen, nothing will get in his way, Stacy. Come on with that word. When God decides to happen, nothing is going to get in his way. So listen, I am so praising God for these testimonies that y'all done put in the Lion's Den this morning. Oh, we got glory up in here, Pastor Baloo. Now y'all better ask somebody, because he'll sing you and play you and preach you into glory too. You came in at the right time, Eagle. You came in at the right time, and the eagle has landed. Good morning to you, sir. Good morning to you. Now, Bearded Baritone is a streamer. Y'all follow him because y'all know we was in a straight up buck when he came in here. So let me go back and come on, Rebel. Don't do it. Don't do it, Rebel. I'm trying to act right. I'm trying to act right. Whoo, my God, today. I feel something happening. Yes, Bearded Baritone. That's where I was. Let me get back. Help you. Thank you for helping me get back on point. Bearded Baritone is, and not when we on point, praising God. There ain't no problem with that. But at the end of the day, I forgot what I was talking about because I just keep getting caught up in the rapture of love. Yeah, y'all. Yeah, caught up in the honey. I can listen. I can put Anita Baker on and let her sing that, and honey, me and the Lord just have a great time. Y'all ain't ready for me. But at the end of the day, I got caught up in the rapture of love and I forgot what I was doing. So Bearded Baritone, yes, he is a streamer. I appreciate you for coming in here this morning. And if y'all didn't notice, he hit the flow. He just came in and said good morning to a few people and just hit the flow. That's the way we do it in here in the Lion's Den. So much love to you, sir, and I appreciate you. Now, if you want that bedtime story with that baritone voice, you want to definitely check in with him. And he's a gamer too, I believe. So listen, I appreciate appreciate you, everybody that's here. This is just glorious. This is marvelous. It's the Lord's doing, and it's marvelous in my eyes. Whew. Now, thank you, Cassandra, for bringing that little burst. Somebody was trying to say burst, bringing that little burst of energy in here this morning, and I appreciate you for that. Woo! Good morning. I see you, bearded baritone. Good morning. I see you, rebel. Now, as we were getting ready to talk about what had happened was, while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered. Let me go ahead and put that up there. Because listen, somebody's getting ready to say, where's the beef? Where's the beef? Because I want you to know Wendy's is about to be up for sale. How about that, y'all? Where's the beef? Wendy's is being put up for sale. And if you are a Wendy's lover, I don't know exactly how all of this is going to shake out. But at the end of the day, what I understand is that they're citing that as the pandemic has gone on, the beef has been leaving left and right as far as their margins and their profits. Now, what they wanted to cite, because they actually were the leader in the pack. I did go through and read this story. They were the leader in the pack with sales because during the pandemic, right before the pandemic, they started a breakfast menu that was leading everybody else. They led the pack with that breakfast menu. Now, if y'all like Wendy's breakfast menu, just put a 1 in the chat. I don't know who all is a Wendy's lover, but when they came out with that just prior to the pandemic hitting, what they found was not only did they continue to lead the pack. Come on, Rebel, you like that Wendy's. Not only did they continue to lead the pack, but everybody else was falling off. And when the pandemic hit, the people still continued to come to Wendy's in the morning to get that breakfast. So they really kind of pulled away from everybody else in that area. However, what they said was that after the pandemic has ended and with the increased cost in commodities, commodities have gone up, as well as they've had to pay their labor force more money. And so they're citing the increase in the cost of commodities and the fact that the increase in what they're having to pay labor is cutting off their margins to the point that they are not profitable anymore. That being said, they're putting their for sale sign up. Their board, and their investors are ready to jump ship. And also they cite the fact that unlike McDonald's and some of the others that are international, they're saying they don't have that same worldwide global market like they do. Oh, no, not your Wendy's. Yeah, Cassandra. There are a lot of people that love Wendy's. And so at this point, this is what they came out saying. And the CEO is saying the rising cost just does not make it profitable for them. They stopped the breakfast in Jamaica. You used to love it till they stopped. Come on, then darn. So at the end of the day, while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, they are struggling, and it looks like they're going to be sold, and the investors are very happy to sell it off. Now, this is the problem that they're saying they believe they're going to have, because the people that can afford to pay the kind of money that they want to receive for the sale of it, many of them already have food and drink companies in their portfolio. So the fear is that even though they want to sell off, they may not be able to sell off, or definitely may not be able to sell off at the price that they would want to receive as the type of company that they are, with the name recognition and everything else. And even as we see here, we've got people in the chat that are fans of Wendy's, but there's not enough fanship there to keep the ship flowing and keep the ship going. So labor costs should have been higher already. I don't feel badly for Wendy's on that point. And this is what I want to say on that, SK8843. I agree that at the end of the day, some of what you're saying, because what what they're talking about are margins. So the margins of profit and what their their stockholders and profit sharing allows to the people is a question. It's not making them enough money. And so at the end of the day, I'm in agreement with you, SK. I don't feel any of them are really what I would call hurting for money. It's just not the kind of money that they want to make. It's not the kind of margins they want to have. When at the end of the day, come on in here, Simply Amazing. So good to see you this morning. Good to have you. You on Grammy duty, but you're listening. Come through. Thank you. And tell my grandbaby I said good morning. At the end of the day, now let me stop and say this simply. No, I'll come back to that. I'll come back to you, Simply. But at the end of the day, you're talking about the profit that the people at the top want to make. It's not necessarily the fact that they're about to be driven into the ground, into bankruptcy or something like that. They want profit. It's their profit margins. And that's exactly what they said. The margins are not good enough for them. So understand, even if you watch a show like Shark Tank, do I have any Shark Tank watchers in here? If you watch a show like Shark Tank, they'll listen to what the people present, but they make their determination of whether or not they want to jump on that bandwagon based on the amount of profit margin that they're going to walk away with. And they'll look at it and say, it's just not enough profit for me. The margins are not good enough. So yes, they finally shared the profits with their workers. And now they're, you say they mad. They're not just mad, they mad. So at the end of the day, they're most likely making millions, just not enough millions to make the millionaires happy. And that's exactly the point, Stacy 546. So come on, I see you, Rebel. I know you every week. That Shark Tank is your thing. Yeah, it's all about the investors and the stockholders. Why should we only make 100 million when we could make 102 million? And that's it, Bearded Baritone. That's exactly it. It's almost, hey, Michelle, you like Shark Tank? You love it? Come on, Shark Tank's a good show. If y'all not watching it, I encourage you, because even if you just sit and observe the process of negotiations, because negotiation, you need to know how to negotiate, and you need to know the different elements of the ins and outs of when you're dealing with big money and investors that you want to attract and you want to deal with. You need to know a little bit of something about how to maneuver, and it's a good learning ground, and to how to figure, listen, I've been with the Rebel Inc. when she's watching Shark Tank, and baby, when they spit those numbers out, she's so proficient now, honey. She can spit that stuff in her calculator and come right back out and be like, this, honey, she got the numbers down. She got the numbers down. So, I'm telling you, it's a good show. But again, the issue here, yes, Stacey, it's a great show. The issue here is the margins. And I think that ultimately, go ahead and, I don't wish anybody ill, but this is what I'm saying. You as Bearded Baritone said, we only made 100 million when we could have made 102 million. That becomes an issue. Well, okay, go ahead and walk away from it. And at that point, how many folks out there can make a burger? Some of y'all out there can make a burger. Some of the black people, I'm going to say this, in the area of entrepreneurship, some of these areas where, and I hear they're talking about the cost of the commodities going up and And I feel some kind of way about that, because I feel like even though they want to talk and say there's a war in Ukraine and now all of a sudden everybody's cost is going up, I'm like that. No, there's a war in Ukraine. All of a sudden, before they even drop the first bomb, we got to raise gas prices because there's going to be, they're playing games with us, in my opinion, because at the end of the day, the fact that there's a war in Ukraine has absolutely no impact, in my opinion, to the oil they have in those barrels that they've been wanting to move. Now, remember, during the pandemic, the oil companies were crying about they weren't making any money because people weren't driving while they were shuttering at home and this and that and the other. So at the end of the day, they're talking about how much they were losing in money. Well, if that's the case, if nobody was moving around, if you had 2 years of people shuttering at home and not using gasoline and oil, how come all of a sudden we have a shortage? And the price needs to, I mean, now, y'all listen, you in the lion's den. This is where no cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black because I tells it like it T-I-Z-Tis. How about, as we heard Bearded Baritone say, I could have made 102 million, but I only made 100 million. How come an industry that's screaming and hollering, we're shuttering at home, we got to get back to work because we're going in the hole and yada, yada, yada. How come we have that and you said you had all this surplus oil and now all of a sudden all you had to do was say a potential, you didn't even have to say, we ain't dropped a bomb yet, just a potential. A potential, y'all. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. A potential war that's getting ready to happen. And then all of a sudden, we got to raise and hike the price of oil because there's a war going on. This is just some stuff we need to think about. We need to process, because at the end of the day, this is y'all playing with our money. You're playing with our lives. You're playing with our resources. But what I do want to say about that, I watched, and I'm that person that thinks outside the box. I love folks that live outside the box. SK, I know you got some good information. Studies show corporate profits have risen, and that is the truth. 50%, while inflation has risen 40%. Commodities are not the cause of these higher prices. Come on and break it down, sis. Come on and break it down. I'm going to read that once more and again for anybody that didn't understand that. Studies show that corporate profits have risen 50%, while inflation has risen 40%. So the commodities are not the cause of these higher prices. These people sit in the boardrooms, they sit behind their chairs, and they make up these numbers, they make up these prices, they know where they want to hit the target, and then they govern themselves accordingly in raising the prices. But stop blaming it on stupid stuff. And this is where we've got to stop looking, and I see you, Tall Plumps. Gas ain't went bad. Make it make sense. That oil didn't go bad. And it really, at the end of the day, while we're trying to move away from oil, we're trying to move away from coal, we're trying to move away from things that leave that carbon footprint. We're trying to move away from that. And here, I feel like we got some last ditch effort stuff going on here as well. They know their days are numbered. They know we're coming out with clean energy. They know that we're moving away from their industry. This is Custard's last stand to hike those prices as high as they can hike them, and as high as the market will stand, and scream bloody murder. We just aren't making any money because of the pandemic. Quit lying. And as SK8843 said, corporate profits have risen 50%. It's not the commodities that are the cause of these higher prices. So let's be clear on this. A war that ain't even in our land. And no disrespect to Ukraine, but come on now. Now, this is something they're just trying to make up the 2-year loss of money, Michelle. And I agree with you there. They're trying to make up, and not only for the 2-year loss of money, but for the potential, again, as we move towards a carbon footprint being decreased so that we can live in the midst of global warming. There's also that idea that as they see their industry coming to the end of the road, almost like back in the day, coal was king, COAL, coal was king. And there, however, came a day, we still use a lot of oil. There's still a lot of industries that still chuck whatever they're doing with oil, with coal to keep it going. But there was a day when everything was coal driven. And then we saw petroleum and oil come in, and with the advent of machines that ran off of gas and so on and so forth. So they saw, even though they're still in there, but they saw their industry shrink. Now, I feel like the oil companies are going to do the same because, as we move towards cleaner means of energy. So Michelle, I'm with you. The 2 years, they want to make up for that. And then for the years that are coming, they want to make up for that. So just gouge them, stick it to them. And I feel like that's what they're doing. So at the end of the day, even when we talk about somebody like Wendy's that's getting ready to sell off, be sold, at the end of the day, you still, when you look at the owners, And those stockholders, there's I'm not so sad as SK said. I'm not so sad because it's really about them saying we're making money. We want to make more money than this. So the company you work for their profits doubled last year. I can believe that, Michelle. Everybody on the top end, while the folks at the bottom are suffering, they're making bank. Coins. I mean, they are making bank. And that at the end of the day, that you really want to know, what do they care about? That's what they care about. At the end of the day, what do they really care about? That's what they care about. So, but they sure can come up with the 44 million or billion to give Ukraine. And I really have an issue with that, Stacey. They always find money to do what they want to do. They can't fund education. They can't take care of the urban core, but they can always come up with millions and billions of dollars to send to somebody else for something that has nothing to do with us. KK79 is in the room. Come on, sis. So much love to you. Good to see you. Come on in here in the Lions Den and make yourself at home. It's also political. Big corporations want to blame the current U.S. administration, hoping to get a corporate-friendly government back into power. And I agree with that as well. There's a plot and there's a plan, even as they're standing at a stalemate, revolving around all the murders, the killing, and the gun situation, and you still can't get anything passed against any kind of gun legislation. When somebody ran, I can't remember which one of them it was, somebody ran the numbers of how much money the gun corporations have poured into. I know Ted Cruz was at one of those at the top of the list. There were a couple of others that they listed out where the gun corporation. Oh, Josh Hawley was one of them, here from the state of Missouri. Oh, I said Josh Hawley. He was another one of them that the gun industry has poured all kinds of mad money into his campaign. So understand, nothing's going to happen when these people are bought and owned by these corporations and by these industries. So it becomes very political at the end of the day. And so we got to understand that some of this is being maneuvered so that it can look like, oh, inflation, let's drive it up. Oh, this and that and the other. And now we just need to feel sorry for these corporations, and again, it's that attempt to get corporate friendly government back into power, so that we can keep giving them the tax breaks, keep giving them the opportunity to expand and grow and blow up to numbers and sizes that are just absolutely positively astronomical and unbelievable in size. Because even now, understand, everything that we've gone through, the millionaires and the billionaires are still making bank, and they're still increasing. And the chasm and the gap between the haves and have-nots is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That's what's going on. But they're still making money. Don't you fool yourself. So we got to deal with all of this and pay attention. Now, that being said, I want to come into this. Follow the money. I see you. Boo. Okay, I got one for you. And so at the end of the day, I look and I listen and I'm like, okay, like I tell you always, pay attention. And as they always say, follow the money, because a lot of these people have, there's an agenda behind what they're doing. I saw you, Rebel. I'm going to give you that, boo. Yep. Boo. So, another nutcase. Cash hoes. They are cash hoes. SK8843 made it plain for you. If you didn't know, now you know. They are cash hoes. You heard it right here. Come on and use it, Jonna. They are cash hoes. Cash talks, BS walks. Oh, we got to use use that one, Jonna. Cash hoes. That's exactly what they are. They hoeing after that money, baby. They are cash hoes. And so, you know, at the end of the day, pay attention. Pay attention. Simply Amazing Cash Talks and BS Walks. Simply Amazing, while I'm here, I'm gonna make this comment because my moderators told me they have to continuously allow your comments because they got words. You got language. So I told her, listen, what I said, I looked at my activity, Simply Amazing. I looked at my activity after the stream was over, and I saw all of this where my mods were having to allow this and allow that. Woo! I said, I'm gonna tell Simply when she comes on, I need to hire new moderators, extra moderators, so they can filter out your stuff, your comments, child, because you are going forth. And listen, the Rebel Inc. said, and by moderators, she means me. Oh, so I had to tell you that. I had to tell you that. So at the end, Pink Assassins is in the room, y'all. Cash hoes. They cash hoes, Pink Assassin. She called them out. Listen, she got the gift of interpretation today, Simply Amazing. She called that spirit out. She said they cash hoes. Woo! Wait a minute. And what did you say, Nathan? The gift, and these hoes ain't loyal. They're loyal to themselves. They can care less about you and me, but they are loyal to themselves. They don't care about what happens to us. It always amazes you how they find that kind of money, like they found $5 in a pair of jeans, but they still cry about how broke the country is. And Stacy 546, you said a mouthful right there. And I think folks need to wake up and pay attention. They got all kind of money sitting in different coffers, designated and earmarked for this, that, and the other stuff that they know they'll never use. They got all kind of coffers out there with cash in it. They got all kind of means and assets out there, but they keep crying that they don't have. But I need y'all to pay attention. Y'all, I need y'all to pay attention. If they can pull 44 bill out of thin air, they're not broke. And this is where we need to really challenge them on the point of, you have money. It's just you deciding where you want to spend the money. Even at the point now, even with, I'm gonna go back to gun control, you know, even if we just, not even so much we're trying to take your guns away and your blessed Second Amendment right for everybody that's just all caught up in that. But even the idea that we need to have some legislation to slow down. We are the only country that has these types of mass shootings repeatedly. Australia had one, I want to say, in like the 80s, and baby, they made legislation and they shut that down and haven't had another since. And we have to every day wonder, are we going to have another incident? Well, as they were talking about the reality of, you've got those that are supposed to be working in our behalf. This is what I want to say here. The idea that government officials are being elected to represent us, you can see it on the gun issue, because Lena Will, Phoenix Leor is in the room. That's one of my millennials. Y'all come on. If you're not following them, they have their own channel, Reboot Pod, P-O-D, Reboot Pod. Go out there and follow them. Come on in here, Lena. So good to see you this morning. Now, this is the thing, and this is what I want to talk about with regard to the minority representing the majority. Good morning, Bishop Ronald B. Andrews is in the room. Listen, we in here this morning. We are in here. Come through. It's good to see you. That's my brother from another mother. I call him Mr. Integrity. That's my guy, because I think he has to have the greatest integrity of anybody I know walking on the face of this earth. I love you, man. Come on in here. I love you. Good to see you this morning. Hope you're doing well. Now, listen, at the end of the day, this is where we want to talk about and deal with. Come on, I'm gonna see what you said, baritone. Apple is raising their minimum wage to. I saw that, and I have that in my story. But thank you for bringing that up, and that is correct. They're raising their minimum wage to $22 an hour, and that's a great thing. But at the end of the day, when you start talking about margins, they're still going to make plenty of money. They're still, even with raising their minimum wage to $22 an hour, they're still going to make plenty of money. And this is where we need to start calling people on the carpet. We need to start calling corporations on the carpet, because they're making money, and they're making good money. They're just not making as much money as they want to have, while the labor that's providing them their means. Buster, come on in here. Good to see you, sir. While the people and the labor that's actually making them their means, they don't want to pay them diddly squat. So we need to look at that. And come on here, Pink Assassin. We are one of those hoes platform. Come on, Pink Assassins. Come on. I'm listening. Now, and this is what I want to say. I want us to address, do they think we really believe someone is doing research on pickle juice? That was a real study. Come on here. How can we not help folks just live because we ain't never got no money? But when it affects them, we learn all kinds of funds in reserve, and they pull that money out. And you're exactly right on that, Simply. And I want us to pay attention to that, as well as, and this, I'm saying this for a reason. I know that we say that these elected officials are to represent us, but the numbers that say, now listen to me when I say this, even with this recent shooting, this recent massacre of our babies, Uncle Diddy, he's in the room. Good morning to you, sir. He is a streamer, y'all. And if you're not following Uncle Diddy, please follow him. He will bless your whole life. And listen, the Ghostbusters community, I love them. Come on in here, Uncle Diddy. Good to see you. Now, this is what I want to say. Pay attention, because right now, with the massacre that we had of these babies, the majority, I'm talking about 60, 90%. And I'm going to give it that range because it depends on whether you're talking about background checks. It depends on whether you're talking about what level of, gun control and dealing with legislation you've got within that range. I'm going to put the 60 to 90% because there's several different categories of what people are saying out there. But this is what I'm saying, 60 to 90%. But we can't. This is why I want you to pay attention, and don't delude yourself. And this is where we need to hold people accountable. You explain it to me, Lucy. How 60 to 90% of the American population, 60 to 90% of the American population wants modification to gun control, but they can't even get it to a vote. And when they get it to a vote, I was watching, I think it was Cory Booker on yesterday, said, we're going to get it to the door, but we already know we don't have enough people to win. So even though we're going to bring it and we're just going to keep fighting until we finally get it voted on, we already know before we get in here, we're not going to win because we can't get the 10 other people that we need. And we sure can't even get 2 of our own. We can't get the people that we need to be able to pass the vote. So they already know. They're just going through gestures. You hear me when I say, I want y'all to pay attention. They're just going through gestures because they already know they don't have enough people and cannot get enough people to pass it. Now, this is the point that I'm making. If 60 to 90% of the American population wants a change, let that marinate. If 60 to 90% of the American population wants a change, but we can't barely get it to a vote and know that when we get it to a vote, we're not going to win. I just want you to understand they are not voting for the people. They're voting for their own personal interest, and they're voting for themselves. Did you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Now, that's not the way the system is set up. But let's be clear. If 60 to 90%, if 60 to 90% of the people want modification to legislation on gun control, but we can't even get it to a vote, and then after we possibly get it to a vote, we already know we're not going to pass it because we can't get the numbers. Somebody is not voting for their constituency. They're voting their own personal wants, needs, and interests. I didn't stutter. You're in the lion's den. You know how we take it over here. No cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black because I tells it like it T-I-Z tis. So at the end of the day, come on, SK, that's my point exactly. Who are they representing? Their own pocketbooks. They're representing their own pocketbooks. And this is where we really, I talked about that, Uncle Diddy. The NRA is paying too many politicians, and that's one reason it's hard to get a change. But this is where I'm saying, come on, Jonna, they're holding the people hostage with that bull. Because at the end of the day, you're there to represent the people. The people voted you in there. We voted your lips, hips, and fingertips in there to represent me, not your own personal interest. I'm just trying to make it clear, and I'm trying to help you to understand. If 60 to 90% of the people want change and we can't even get it to the table to vote and we can't get it passed, what does that say to you? Just take that one instance right there. They're not voting for you. They're voting their own personal interests. And that ain't no made up stuff. I'm not talking conspiracy. I'm just saying, just look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. The numbers speak for themselves. If that, and why do we want change? It's our children that's getting killed. Your child that's behind the wall at that private school and that private institution, you're not worried about your child getting shot up because you got all kind of guards and protection and everything else around your children when they go to school. But our children are out here getting shot up and killed. And you want to pray for us. Miss me with that raggedy prayer. Miss me, BTD mom. Miss me, Uncle Diddy. Miss me, Pink Assassins, with your raggedy prayer that probably ain't going nowhere. I need legislation. And the fact that the majority of the people want legislation and we can't even get it. Baby, if y'all don't understand that something needs to change because these people that we voted in are not representing us, nor are they representing our concerns. And I don't need Ted Cruz. I don't need Governor Abbott. I don't need your raggedy prayer. I need legislation. And we are casualties of their agenda. Come on here. Pink Assassin, too many. Some of them are NRA reps and members. Come on here. Listen, I'm telling you, we've got to wake up to what's going on. And while at the end of the day, I know we want to say God bless America and all of this other stuff, we still have to deal with the realities. Do not bury your head in the sand as to the fact that the system has gone askew. The system is off. The system needs to be fixed. Because if we voted you in there and 60 to 90% are saying change, but we can never get nothing passed where it revolves around the guns and gun control. Houston, there is a problem. Now be clear on that, babies. Be clear on that. You know, I know y'all went to civics class. I know they told you all the things that they wanted to tell you about how our system and how our government works. However, y'all open up your eyeballs and look at what's really going. What had happened was somebody, and I told you they had Josh Hawley, Ted Cruz. I can't remember who the other third one was. If you saw how much money the gun companies poured into their campaign so that they could win, you'd understand why you ain't getting no action. But the system is supposed to be about representing the people. This is where we need to go back. And this is where we need to just keep holding their feet to the fire. Come on, come on, come on. Listen, she's in here, y'all. She's in here. It is LaWanda Baskerville. Miracles, signs, and wonders. LaWanda Baskerville on that solo raid, y'all. That solo raid. Come on in, LaWanda.
Big Moochie, baby. Hey, come on, right now, this is going out to the entire set, man. You hear me? This is going out to the whole entire set and my last dance family. Let's see, it's called the set slide. You gon' step on over to your right. Now step on over to your left. Step up, step back, step up. Now turn, now walk it on back.
Now walk it on back. Come on in here. LaWanda Baskerville. Refresh your screen, sis. Refresh your screen. Refresh your screen, sis. Refresh your screen. Come on in here, Lady T. Good morning to you. So good to see you, love. So good to see you. Now, this is where I want us to understand. I don't care what you learned in civics class. At the end of the day, I want you to recognize, be clear on this. We got some reform that must happen because we playing games up in here. We win. You gonna twerk? Come on and twerk, Jonna CP. Come on and work. Come on and twerk. You refreshed? Come on. We ready to go. We ready to go. Stacy, the system needs to be destroyed and a new one put in place. One of the founding people said every 10 years the Constitution needs to be thrown out and rewritten because it's no longer pertains to what's happening in the present. At the end of the day, you know what my thing has been. Anytime you have a system, anytime money. I told you what we already know what it's about. We already know SK 8843. It's gonna be about them coins. It's gonna be about ka-ching at the end of the day. So this is where we have to address, and again, going back to what you just said, Stacy 546, if we want to change a system, we've got to create a new system that makes that old system obsolete. So this is one thing. I listen to some preachers, and y'all ain't ready for me, but there's some folks that realize this ain't working. And this system is not working. And when you talk, one reason, come on in here. There he is, y'all. That's my Bishop of Twitch. Come on in here, sir. One reason is my guy. If you're not following the Bishop of Twitch, I want y'all to get over there and follow right now. Because listen, he has soldiers over there, soldiers, and they will carry you right on into Zion. Come on, Bishop. Thank you for being in here with me this morning. So much mad love to you. I love you, man. I really, really do. Now, this is what I'm saying. We got to understand, we've got to replace and we've got to come up with something that works, and we've got to do it now. That's why I'm talking about boss energy. That's why I'm saying this is a time to activate that boss energy. Don't just keep talking about boss energy. Some of us need to start stepping out. So this is I'm going to come back to Wendy's, who now wants to sell off because they're not making enough in their profit margin. So, okay, you're not making enough in your profit margin. Then listen, I want us to pay attention. We need to start stepping in and slipping in some of these areas and start doing our thing and doing it collectively. Now, what do I mean when I say doing it collectively? If some of y'all out there, y'all know y'all can make a good burger, baby, open up a burger shack and let's go. McDonald's had to start somewhere. Wendy's had to start somewhere before it ever franchised and all of that. They had to start somewhere. The Colonel's Chicken had to start somewhere. Y'all know that some of you all have some recipes and some cooking and some things that you can do. Come on and start. Come on. Get your boss energy working. Get your creativity working. And let's do this thing and let's support one another and let's make another reality. If you're not going to let people come in and be a part of the economic situation over here, create another one. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Create another one. Go around that. Create another reality. I'm not going to keep begging to come in your door. I'm going to build my own house and walk in my own door. How about that? Come Come on, SK, Jonna CPW, and that hummingbird cake. That's a business all by itself. I'm going to tell you what, and this is the truth. Jonna CPW can tell you this is the truth. I took her to one of the premier confectionaries here in the city. I took her there just as a getaway for her, just to come on, Brown Eyes 777, come on in here. I took her over there just as a getaway. Hey, let's go spend some time today. Had a beautiful time, but I had a very a definite and I had intention. I had an intention, and my intention. I took her in there. And I saw her little eyes dancing. Her eyes were, and if you don't know, listen, you haven't had hummingbird cake, chocolate cake. I'm talking about scratch cake. We ain't talking about nothing out of nobody's box. I'm talking about all this from scratch and all of this special recipe. Jonna CPW is the bomb. So I took her in there, and you know why I told her, I said, you know, when we came out, I said, imagine the name of your cake business on this building. Imagine the name of your cake business on this building, and imagine this as yours. And it's located right off of the plaza, or the plaza, however y'all want to say it. It's located right off of the plaza. It's a beautiful, I mean, you go in and I promise you, you can just walk into the building and just being and seeing the display, how they present it. And come on, y'all, presentation matters. Don't just it tastes good, but it's leaning to the side and the icing hanging all off of it. No, presentation matters. You walk in there and the presentation of everything that's presented there, and of course it's almost no black folk in there, and at the end of the day, you know, the ambiance, the visions, the way it's presented, the way it's cut, I mean to tell you, it will take you to a whole nother place just walking in there. It will lift heavy burdens. Y'all ain't ready for me just by walking in there. You understand? The atmosphere just from walking in there makes you feel different. So my whole purpose was to spend time with my girl, enjoy her space, but I also had an intention. I want you to see this and see this as yours. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Yes, I can appreciate the way that they're doing it, but baby, you can do it too. And I especially, and some of y'all need to hear this. I guess I'm gonna go on into this realm right here. I wasn't trying to, but I might as well go into my last section. Listen, as we walked in there, thank you for the biddies. As we walked in there, I said, and look at the prices. Because listen, folk, at the end of the day, I promise you, even though I love everything, Go Ratty, come on in here. You okay, baby? That's my guy. Good morning to you. Thank you for making it in. And you're here at the time that you need to be here. Everything by divine assignment and divine appointment. When I said, I want you to look at the pricing, because there's a difference between, thank you for the biddies, Kai Chick. There's a difference between the way she prices, which most of the time is nothing at all. And y'all got to understand your value. And I'm not saying this to throw Jonna CPW under the bus, because she's phenomenal. But I'm just trying to use, if she'll allow me, and she's my girl. I know come on, Go Ratty. Thank you for the biddies. I appreciate that. I mean no malice in this whatsoever. I'm just using this as an example. But I said I wanted her to see those prices, because she sells what she does sell way under price. I just wanted her to see this little slice right here goes for this much money. Sometimes we need to get out and benchmark and see what other folks are doing. And this is the thing. Listen, I am so happy because I saw the fire and the passion and the little girl just jumping all over. Because when you see it and you begin to realize that could be me. Thank you for the biddies. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you for the hype train. I appreciate y'all. You never have to do it, but I appreciate it. Come on, SK. I will pay for her cakes. You hear what I'm saying? Pay. I will pay for those cakes. Miss Robin, come on in here this morning. Come on and get yourself together in the Lion's Den. I appreciate you for coming through. So much mad love coming to you. Come on and follow my sister, Miss Robin. Give her all the love and she will bless your life. So at the end of the day, this and support. Come on, Brown Eyes. This is the thing. As people come forth, come on. Thank you for those biddies, Brown Eyes 777. People come in with support. Disco Darren is lurking. Come on. And fake working. Come on. Disco Darren is a streamer. If you're not following him, please follow him. He will have you cracking up, y'all. Tall Pumps, thank you for the biddies. Everybody that's given to the hype train, I appreciate you. But this is what I'm talking about. Boss energy isn't for just to flex your muscles and say, I have boss energy. Boss energy is for us to change and shift the paradigm. We've got to get out here and change the landscape so that the reality can be, we're not left out. We're not left out in the cold. We're not standing outside looking in. Baby, if we can unite, and I'm not even going to say if we can unite. When we unite and come together and begin to pour resources into one another. Listen, Stacy 546 is an author. Go out there and buy her book. Put her over the top. You understand what I'm saying? When we support one another. And when I say that, because listen, it doesn't matter color, ethnicity, whatever the case may be. When you find somebody, baby doll, he calls me. Thank you for the sub. Come on, Fairly All Day. Thank you for those biddies. You know I love you, my dearest friend. God bless you. Thank you so much. Lady T, thank you for the sub. 8 months in a row you've been here. I appreciate you, my sister. We need to change the entire landscape. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I'm tired of talking about what they doing and how they doing it. Who cares? Them folk are crazy. We're not crazy. We got vision. We have community. We know how to come together and work together. We care about people's lives. We care about our children's lives. I'm not worried about what them crazy folk are doing over there in their system. Let's create another one. Y'all ain't buying what I'm selling. Create another reality. Get your vision, your dream, and your idea pumped up and going. Do you understand? That's why we keep talking about make a contract with yourself while you're going in contracts with all of these other people. Have you made a contract with yourself? Success is yours. Come on, Disco Darren. Thank you for those 4 months, sir. I appreciate you. So much mad love coming to you. Come on, Kai Chick. She's out there. Listen, I might have known. Kai Chick's out here doing her thing. That's my evangelist. Thank you for those gifted subs, Kai Chick. You always, honey, she goes into the highways and hedges and compels folk to be part of the Lion's Den. I love you, sis. Thank you so much. So this is where I'm saying, let's start doing something different. We are well able and it's happening. SK8843. I'm the in crowd, not the in crowd, because it's happening. Dr. Dady Priest, that's my high priestess. Come on in here, sis. I love you. I love you. I love you. Come on in here. If you're not following Dr. Dady Priest, because engagement matters, I want you to go out there and hook up with my sister ASAP. She will bless your whole life. Psalmist 4, thank you for that resub. Come on. BTD Mom, thank you for those biddies. But listen to what I'm saying. I want you all to get this in your minds. We can make a different reality. Now, I'm going to tell you what. So with this same conversation and with this same kind of thought in mind, I listen to certain preachers, because everybody isn't just after your money. Everybody isn't just running you into the ground. There are some preachers that are really woke. And so I listen every Wednesday night to the Gatekeepers. And this is what they talked about on yesterday. Thank you for that gifted sub, Kai Chick. Man, I appreciate you. So much love to you. This is what they talked about last night. Now, even when I say somebody out there can cook a good burger. Now, y'all ain't ready for me, but listen to me. Somebody out there can cook a good burger. Open you up a burger shack somewhere. Child, just get going. I don't care if you let them come get it from your home, whatever. Just get started. Because this is the thing. Simply Kim, thank you. Thank you. King Kuji, come on. Thank you. SK8843. Those are those gifted subs. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Because this is the vision, and I hope y'all can hear me. They had a young studied professor, a young black man, and y'all know that just, you know, I love everybody, but when I see the young black people going out there and do their thing, it just goes all over my shondo. It just makes me feel good. He was talking about how so many things, and he was dealing with food, and how we, even if we look at our food, have been set up. Pay attention, y'all, set up. Because at the end of the day, when you start talking about good, healthy food, there's food deserts every place black people are. There's a food desert. And what we do oftentimes have options for is unhealthy food. What can you get cheap? 4 for 4, 5 for 5. They'll put that right smack dab in the middle of your neighborhood. And when your money is pinched, thank you, MCP 812. Thank you for those roaring biddies. I appreciate you. Come on, Kai Chick. Thank you for those roaring biddies. I appreciate you. When your money is tight, when you're struggling and you need to stretch, what will you go buy? That 4 for 4, that 5 for 5, that heart attack in a cup, in a bag, a heart attack in a sack. They'll give you all kind of diabetes in a cup. They'll give you everything unhealthy and then get you on the backside with health care. Y'all ain't ready for me. So at the end of the day, all you're doing is paying out. And partly because you cannot afford, when you start talking about healthy and organic, who can afford it? But I heard the young man when he said this, and see, y'all really ain't gonna like this. He said, some of y'all got these big old houses with these big old yards. You don't need that grass. Plant you a plot of a garden and plant you some food. Now, I know some of y'all not going to do that because your lawn is your prized possession. You're not about to lose it. But he said, listen, you can grow your own food. And then at the end of the day, he said, this is what churches have started doing. Churches have started not only on their land that they own, but they have started buying land not to build a bigger church. And that's where y'all done fell into this whole trap. Monkey see, monkey do. You buying a bigger building, you buying a bigger church so you can flex your muscles. Look at what no, he said they're buying property and turning it into gardening spots. Y'all ain't ready for me. That's the kind of church I'm talking about. They're buying land and or using land they already have and own and converting those to gardening spots to feed the people. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? So at that point, we're not talking about what folks won't do, what folks won't give us, the price they put on this and the price that they put on that. Baby, do your own thing. How did I say? You get rid of that old, you create a new system that makes that old system, that broke down system, that tore up system, make a new system that makes that old system obsolete. Am I talking to anybody? He further goes on to say, if you really stop and think about it, the reason why there was such, not only because we had black skin, were we such a rich commodity to bring us to this country, but understand this, we knew how to work the ground. We knew how to grow. We knew how to make things live. We knew how to do all of that in Mother Africa. When they brought us over here, they brought us to be able to do that. And at the end of the day, don't you lie, you know we can still make some stuff happen out of nothing. And so this is why ultimately he's like, if we would just go back to what we knew and what we had from the beginning. What is it? We had the knowledge, the know-how, the understanding, how to get out here and grow and make things work, and then take what other folk consider throwaway items, we knew how to take those throwaway items and make something into them, first and foremost, because we were using and eating that over in the motherland. But secondly, after we came over here and couldn't get nothing else but that, we still knew how to take those off of the fringes and make something out of it that we could eat and be healthy. And before we got into all of this other, y'all ain't ready for me. Thank you for those biddies. Everybody that's giving, I done got caught up, wasn't paying attention. So this is what I want us to understand. But come on. I want us to come into a mindset. Come on, your dad used to do that, Kai Chick. Your whole backyard was a vegetable garden. We had a garden in the back of our house too. Understand this. Many of these things, thank you Fairly All Day for those biddies. Many of these things that we can do. Now, some of us have moved on into this atmosphere of what do I want to say? This whole capitalistic society. I'm too good for that. Well, let your stomach growl. Let your stomach be empty. Keep on complaining about how the soaring prices are tearing you up. John Studios, come on in here. You keep complaining about how the prices are going up and you can't afford it. Baby, get your lips, hips, and your fingertips out there in that yard. Teach your children how to grow some stuff. Teach your children how to teach your children some things that can allow them to live in the midst of, I don't care what the economy is doing. We're going to live. Am I talking to anybody? So at the end of the day, you did that with your grandma and you still plant herbs and onions. Come through with that, Pink Assassins. There's so much that we've thrown away trying to get the good life. But the good life is costing you, baby. It's costing you your health. It's costing you all your money. It's costing you in ways that you don't even know. But you want this good life, baby. The good life is when you can eat healthy. Let's start right there. Understanding. Come on, Phyllis Coleman. That's my friend. Come on in here. That's my friend. So much love to you, sis. Listen, your papa started a community garden. That's what I'm talking about, across the street, and worked it every summer. There are things that we can do for ourselves. DJ Cut 'em Close. Come on in here. Good morning to you. So good to see you. He's a streamer. Please follow him. But this is what I want us to understand. Then after you grow it, Lavinia, Christine. Oh my goodness, that's my sister from church. Come on, Mount Zion in the house. Mount Zion in the house. This is what I want us to understand. This is what churches can do. Stop buying more property so you can build a bigger building. Buy some property and then let's make jobs. Let's make jobs. Get the folks in your church that have a green thumb, because I guarantee you somebody in there knows how to grow. Get some folk that got some green thumb. Pay them and let them go out there and plant the stuff. Pay folk to come and pick it. Then for those that have food and drink industry in your church, I'm talking about entrepreneurs, and it doesn't even have to be church, in your neighborhood. Let's take it out of the church. In your neighborhood, let's go and give them the food that we grew. Let's go and sell them the food that we grew, or donate it, whatever the case may be. Go out there and get that food in their hands so that what they're doing can prosper. It's a joint effort. Everybody pulling for the same things. Everybody working together for the same goal. And at the end of the day, I'm done talking about they won't let me sit at the table. I built that table and I'm going to build this table over here for myself. I built that table for you in the centuries that we've been here. Now I'm getting ready to build my own table. You can't stop me from sitting at my table. I'm going to say this once more and again, and I mean this with everything that's in me. Baby Bear James, DJ, come on in here, my brother. It's so good to see you this morning. This is the day the Lord has made. We done already rejoiced. We shouted on the first 10 minutes of the show, child. I mean, we sure enough shouted, literally shouted up in here. So this is the day the Lord has made, and we're rejoicing in it, and we're glad. So this is where I'm saying, let's do our own thing. Why do we grow our own produce? Come on here, SK8843. We were never hungry at my house. Never hungry at my house. But we had a garden in the backyard. We had hogs. Y'all ain't mind what I'm selling. My father raised pigs. We slopped the hogs. Y'all ain't ready for me. We had and wild folk be like, ugh, I don't want to do that. Don't do it. But we had fresh meat. I didn't know nothing about this nasty store-bought meat until we stopped all of that in my later years. And then I'm going to say it again. That stuff y'all getting in the store is nasty. If you've ever had fresh meat. Some of y'all don't even know what fresh meat is. You don't even know what fresh meat tastes like. You don't know fresh pork, fresh beef. And for the vegetarians, many of you all don't know an idea of what fresh vegetables taste like that haven't been all shot up and colored up and polished up. Baby, get some real food. DJ Freak of Fire is in the house. Come on in here. I appreciate y'all. And I promise you, good morning, Barbara Hardy. Come on in. Come on in. Not one day were we hungry, SK8843. Not one day were we ever hungry. But we grew it. And I know how to do it again if I have to. And I'm going to tell you, Stacy, we had good meat. I promise you, the difference between, come on, Phyllis, you know I'm telling the truth. You know I'm telling the truth. You know the pig pen over in the back. You know the garden. Come on. You know I'm telling the truth. I ain't lying. I'm telling what God loves, and that's the truth. And I'm telling you, when you have experienced, and this is why organic is so big right now. When you have experienced food that has not been tampered with, when you experience food that hasn't been shot up, when you experience food that's not floating full of dye, when you experience food that doesn't have chemicals in it that you can't even pronounce, you're going to have a different reality in your health. Am I talking to anybody? Ooh, I done talked myself up into a tizzy. But I'm so serious about what I'm talking about. Because again, as he said, I loved it. I loved the conversation when I was listening to it yesterday. You was a city kid with the chicken coop at Grammys. I ain't mad at that, Pink Assassin, because at the end of the day, we had fresh chickens too. My aunties and them had chickens and we had fresh. Matter of fact, y'all ain't ready for me. I'm gonna lose somebody right here. We had rabbit pens. We had, because you know rabbits do multiply. They will be fruitful and multiply. We had rabbit pens, and in the morning, they'd go out there, get a rabbit out of the pen, slaughter it, skin it, cook it up, and we had rabbit for breakfast like y'all eat bacon. Y'all ain't ready for me. My dad said my uncle and them had so much rabbit when my aunt was pregnant with their child, they thought the baby was going to come out hopping. Y'all ain't ready for me. But all I'm saying is this idea that if we begin a cooperative and understand my boss energy is for more. And then somebody may say agriculture is not my thing. I don't have any problem. Your sister Linda Newsom is working on her garden now. That's what I'm talking about, Phyllis. Grow your own stuff. Grow your own stuff. I was no Taco Bell, GJ cut them close. No Taco Bell. That stuff, I don't even know what's in it. Mystery meat. That's what I call it. Mystery meat. What is this? Mystery meat. And y'all just eating that stuff up, all kind of chemicals in there, and then wonder why you got all kind of maladies and sicknesses in your body. Those chemicals are not meant for your body. Am I talking to anybody? And that's again what they will put in the food desert, something that's not good for your body, and they gonna get you on the front end when you swallow. You know how you eat something hot, you gonna pay for it twice. You're going to pay for it when you swallow it, and you're going to pay for it when it comes out. That's exactly what they're doing in these communities that have food deserts, where they put this rank, raggedy, nasty, and some of it's not even food. They put it in and we eat it up because it's cheap. Then we pay for it on the back end. Ooh, am I talking to anybody? We've got to do something different. If we want organic food and we can't afford to pay for it at the grocers, I'm going to say it one more time. Let's start growing it. Let's start sharing it. Let's start giving it. Let's start donating it. I tell you, to this day, I still have people that farm and they know that I love fresh food. They know I love fresh produce. Listen, I'll get eggplant. I'll get, you name it. I can just go down the line and fresh. I'm telling you, it's so much different than what y'all buying in these grocery stores and paying them 2 arms and 2 legs. Apples don't. Now, you listen. If you've had an apple that tasted like an apple, put a 1 in the chat, because I contend we used to go out to the apple tree, green apples, red apples, pears. I'm talking for real. MCP 812 knows I'm not lying. Listen, Phyllis Coleman, y'all know I'm not lying. We used to go out to the tree, pick the fruit off of it and eat it. This stuff they selling at the store, it says it's an apple, but I don't even know what it is. It has no flavor, no taste. It's shiny because they done waxed it up. It's shiny, but what am I eating? I don't know, because it has absolutely positively no flavor whatsoever. Y'all ain't ready for me. And then we wonder why. And that's why I'm talking about boss energy. We wonder why we keep suffering and we keep coming up with, we got sicknesses we never heard of before. Child, they done pumped us up with all of them chemicals in that food. Do you know what you're ingesting? Do you know what you're eating? You got chemicals you can't even pronounce and you're just swallowing it down. And then come with a hand growing out your neck and wonder what happened. We've never seen a case like this before. We don't know what it is. Y'all ain't ready for me. Let me get back to where this is a point where I'm saying, listen, we have the ability to take charge of our own destiny, but we are going to have to shift. We can't keep doing things the same way it's always been done and expect for us to have a different outcome. So if we've been shut out, if they're giving us nasty and rotten food, listen, I'm going to say this. Now, y'all just think about it. I bought a loaf of bread and I let that loaf of bread sit, the whole loaf. I let that loaf of bread sit for 2 months and that loaf of bread never molded. Do you understand the words? I'm going to say it again and I ain't lying. I'm telling what God loves. I let that loaf of bread sit for 2 months and that loaf of bread never molded. And I threw it out. No, ma'am. No, sir. You show me some bread that can last for 2 months and not mold. Am I talking to anybody? We can and must do this. We can feed one another. Come on here, SK. You never set out to be a vegetarian, but the way meat has changed over the years, you stop eating it because it just doesn't taste or look right. And you're right, Stacy. I can promise you, having been exposed to fresh meat, I can promise you what y'all eating out of the store. I don't know what's wrong with it, but it ain't right. Am I talking to anybody? Let me come on down. So at the end of the day, what am I saying? I want us to understand at Swope Park Community Center, you can join for $2 a year. Come on, that's what I'm talking about. They have classes to help you learn about gardening. Come on, Phyllis, fertilizer, etc. You can get it from the community center. Some of us need to take these types of things up in our community. There's an empty plot next door to your house that's just sitting there. Rather than letting it continue to be an eyesore, maybe, just maybe, we can turn that into a community garden. Am I talking to anybody? Your cousin grows apples, onions, lemons. Come on, GMO. That's what I'm talking about. You ain't have black cherries until you pick it off the tree. Listen, cherries. I'm talking about raspberries, blackberries, all of that. One reason we go out there, you could just walk, as they said, it used to grow volunteer. You could just walk down the road in White Cloud and we just be walking down the road feeding ourselves snacks because you got every kind of berry you wanted to have right there growing on the road. Fresh cherries, pears, green apples, red apples. Am I talking to anybody? Fresh is nothing like it. And I feel for those that have never experienced it, and understand, but we can change that. I'm talking about boss energy. Now, y'all, when all of these other areas, we be like, yeah. But I hope we can get this even with our food. We need to change this up with our food because the food that we're getting in our communities is killing us. And they know it. Ooh, am I talking to anybody? So at the end of the day, these are the types of things I want us to start engaging in to change and shift this paradigm. We've gotten very comfortable with coming in, working our 8 to 5 or whatever your shift work is, coming in, lay down, chill. But these are some things that we can teach our children. These are some things that we can teach our children's children. Somebody said, if you give a man a fish, he's going to be hungry again. But if you teach a man how to fish, he'll never hunger another day in his life. Because you can always go drop a line in the pond. Do you understand? You can always go drop a line in the river. You can always go drop a line somewhere and get you a piece of fish where you don't have to be hungry tonight, even if you don't have a dime. Am I talking to anybody in here? Come on, MCP 812. You know, we grew up on real food. We climbed many a fruit tree, and we surely did, MCP 812, and enjoyed the climb. It was fun climbing a tree. Y'all ain't ready for me. Give your children something to do besides just getting on those electronic devices playing video games. And I'm not bashing that because there's money to be made for those children that can master those video games. But give them something else to go to the orchard. There are orchards, and you can go to the orchard at the time of picking. Take you a basket. They got baskets there for you. Take your children, take your grandchildren, go out to the orchard and get you a season supply worth of fresh off the tree, whatever it is, and then come back home. Save yourself all kinds of money and get some fruit that tastes like something. Am I talking to anybody? The kids are cray-cray from the hormones in the food, and you're telling the truth about that. Because listen, I said some of these fast food places where y'all getting a chicken, that there's no chicken, there's no regular chicken that's the size of a turkey. Baby, that's hormones. I come to pump you up. That's some pumped up, that's some genetically modified. They done pumped that full of something. And y'all eating it up. Your youngest daughter is extremely conscious about everything that goes into her body. She's 27 years old and buys a big portion of the food from her family, from seasonings on, from the farm. And I'm going to say that some of y'all, because I got a friend who makes a seasoning, Cali seasoning. It's her mother's recipe. And I use that seasoning. That seasoning is delicious. Some of you all have a business in you right there. It doesn't have to be something grandiose. It doesn't have to be all this and all that. What do you do and what do you do well? What's an expertise? What's a secret that you have that nobody else knows how to make it? I used to get my aunt's, she called it secret sauce. I used to get my aunt's mama's sauce. And baby, you talk about for marinating, for going out on the grill, for what? All from natural stuff. Everything that she made from her kitchen, grew in her garden. Baby, you ain't had nothing till you have some mama's sauce and sell that thing. Y'all ain't ready for me. And people will buy it. The same way y'all go out there and buy off of these shelves and you don't know what's in it, people will buy it. Are y'all listening to me? I'm still on boss energy. Because we've got to address this from another angle than just the idea of, yes, we got All of these things that everybody wants to jump up, that's convenient. I'm just going to sum it all up in that. Things that are convenient, things that are easy, things that are comfortable. But baby, there's some things that we do that may bring us out of our comfort zone, but I promise you it will give us life. I promise you it will allow us to have some longevity. And I promise you it'll start putting some money in the economic till that we need to build up, so we're not always looking in somebody else's window, in somebody else's door, and saying, will you let us in, let us in? And they saying, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Oh, well, I'm done knocking on your door. I build my own house and go in my own door whenever I get good and ready and sit down at the table that I built for myself and my friends. I'm not going to beg you for nothing. Come on, Dr. Dady, you've purchased seasonings from farmers at the market, and it's more than worth it. That is good stuff. Go back to canning. Listen, Phyllis, you done said some folk don't even know what canning is. They're like, what's canning? Go pick sweet corn off the stalk. That's what we used to do. We wanted a snack. You go out there in the field, pull you some corn fresh off the stalk, and I promise you, before the sugars have time to dissipate, baby, put you some fresh corn straight off the stalk in a pot, boil that thing, pull it out and eat it for a snack, and be happy as a bug in a rug. And healthy. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? You want to learn how to can. And this is the thing, Stacy. These are some things that I want us to bring back. And I'm going to say this and I'm out of here because my time is up. You have so many friends every summer because they wanted the cherries off the 2 trees in your. I understand that. I was just talking to somebody the other day about the price on cherries. Cherries are going $7, $8, $9 a pound. Baby, cherries. Fresh sweet corn is the bomb, Dr. Dady. Ooh, I got you. I got you wanting some fried corn right now. The meat is making us sick. You're exactly right. So I see you, baby doll. He calls me, and thank you for coming in here today. These are some things. And let me say this. Let me say this. This is something I feel like we need to pass on to our children and our children's children so that we do not find ourselves in these predicaments. And at the end of the day, as I start thinking about how we can network with our senior citizens, hear me when I say this, because many of our seniors, particularly after COVID, and I want you to understand, isolation on all of us, isolation on the children has been hard, but if y'all can imagine, isolation for the senior citizens has been even harder. People that have lived their lives, been accustomed to being around people, and all of a sudden being completely cut off and shut off. And for many of them, even though we've lifted restrictions, many of them don't have people that are coming to visit. And so they're still isolated, and isolation is hard. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Isolation is hard. Let me throw this out here as some boss energy, and I'm getting out of here. How about we go to some of these senior citizen facilities, and for those that are not in senior citizen facilities but are living at home, Jazzy Licious is cooking. There is my girl. Come through. I love you, girl. Come on in here. She is a streamer and she's in food and drink industry. Y'all go out there and support her. Order some of her food when you get out there. She got some good cooking. She'll ship it to you. Y'all support my girl. I love you, Jazzy. I love you. Isolation is unbelievable, Nancy. So this is something I want to say. This is some boss energy we're going to close with today. How about some of us youngins just start finding our seniors and our elders because they are a wealth of knowledge? How about we just start going and asking them about some of these areas, about some of these things, about some of this information? God forbid that it die with them and go to the grave, because we're about to lose a whole bunch of wealth of knowledge that has not been tapped, because these seniors, we were used to them doing it. We were used to them performing it. We were used to them providing it. We were used to them cooking it, growing it. We were used to them, but we don't know diddly. How about as a bridge? How about as a means of moving in some boss energy? We start going and getting information from our elders and our seniors and our ancients. How about we ask them, ooh, you used to grow some of the best whatever. You used to cook some of the best, whatever. How about we just go and start having and holding conversation with them and let them pour into us? And at the end of the day, it will be an enriching experience for them, but it will be even more an enrichment to our lives. That's boss energy. And let's draw this rich knowledge. Let's draw this rich information. Let's draw. They're happy to talk, baby doll, he calls me. They're happy to talk and they're ready to talk. They're longing to talk. They're hurting to talk. Can I say that? They want to talk. And we need what they have. And I'm not saying just do this because but for some of us, we need that motivation to understand. Let's go with purpose. What's my purpose? Yes, I want to first and foremost, come on, the one and only Keisha Key, come on in here. First and foremost, I want to share and know the love just for you as a person. But I also want to share and know the knowledge that's in your brain, the experience that's in your life. Good morning, Royal Confessions. Come on in here. So much love to you. Let's get this information. Let's get this relationship. Let's get this communion. Let's get this unity. Let's get all of the community and let's come together. Let's make another reality to boss energy. Am I talking to anybody? Let's end the desert, the food deserts. Let's end that. Let's end where we can't afford. Matter of fact, some of y'all can co-op together. Go to a slaughterhouse and you want animals that are not pumped up full of hormones. Go to a slaughterhouse. Everybody, okay, we're going to slaughter this beef right here. You take a half, I'll take a half. You take a quarter, I'll take a quarter. Get 4 folks to take a quarter so that we can co-op together and get you listen, y'all, you remember when your parents and your grandparents used to have that chest freezer that you could go out there and get me some of that meat and bring it in here, girl. And listen, in the white package. That's the way it used to be. They wrap it up in the white package. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all don't know nothing about the meat wrapped up in the white package. Come on in here, Shelly Thunder. In the white package. And everybody split so that, come on, Debbie McClain. Thank you for liking the stream. Everybody split, go in together. 4 families get together. Butcher you if you eat meat. Butcher you a whole cow. Butcher you a whole hog. All of y'all go in together and buy it and I promise you, number 1, you're going to get healthier because you're going to have fresh meat without all the chemicals in it. And number 2, it's going to be cheaper. It's cheaper to keep her. Y'all ain't ready. You love listening to their stories. Absolutely, Stacy. And you can gain so much knowledge from them if you would just listen. Now, listen, y'all, I'm giving y'all some tips. Okay, I see it's time for me to get out of here. I want you to hear, because this is boss energy. We need to shift this thing. You want to buy a cow so bad? Listen, and then I'm telling you, every year, my dad grew the hogs. My uncle grew the cows. And so every year we would butcher, Chazzy, and they would share. They'd get half of whatever we butchered in the pork, and they would give half of whatever they butchered in the beef. And I'm telling you, when you see those white packages in the freezer and you get that meat out and cook it, I promise you there is nothing like fresh meat. There's nothing like fresh meat. Well, that's why, and I hear you, it's super expensive. This is one thing that I said. You can always go in. You can always go in and co-op to purchase, so that it's not just you buying, but get you and somebody else and go in and co-op together. Now, we grew our own, so that was the difference with that. We grew our own. But even if you're going to buy with somebody, or if you know somebody, I got a friend, she has over 500 acres And in that 500 acres, they grow vegetation. And at the end of the season, she's trying to find people to give stuff to. She's trying to find people to give food, literally, not sell it, just give it away. So, you know, hey, find you some friends, find you some folk that do that, make friends with them. And at the end of the day, people, and this is the thing about becoming relational, people oftentimes will be like, well, hey, you know, they may be willing. I had a friend that had a chicken farm. I never, the whole time that we were in relationship, I never had to buy fresh eggs again because she would send them to me in the dozens because they had so many. She was up there in Iowa, in God's country, and she had all them chickens out there. And baby, I never, ever, ever had to buy, I didn't have to buy eggs because she was sending them down for free. At some point, she's just trying to get rid of them, make sure. And of course, she loved me too. Then I had a friend that that's all they grew was corn. You know, their crops were corn. Baby, this is how we can have an opportunity to become relational again. We are so divided one from the other. We're so divided. And that's part of the problem of this country right now. We are so divided. Get to know your neighbor. And these weren't neighbors. They were in a whole nother state. Get to know folks in another state. Get to know people here, there. And there are folks that I'm telling you, as you come into relationship, some things it's just like, hey, I got this, you got that. Let's trade it off. You give me this, I give you that. And a lot of times it wasn't a matter of us saying, I'm going to give you this, you give me that. It just happened. When I had whatever, I gave it to them. When they had whatever, they gave it to me. And the next thing I know, I got I wasn't growing eggplant, but I didn't lack for eggplant the whole summer because every time she pulled eggplant out of her garden, boom, there it was, as many eggplants as I wanted. We got to reconnect with each other. Can you have a tip? My sister sold all of your cow. Jelly Man 200. Listen, you partnered up with the wrong folk. If folk gonna get all of your stuff, you partnered up with the wrong folk. Nothing in the world like it, baby doll, he calls me. There's nothing in the world like it. You want a farm, pay someone else to run it. Hey, I don't have a problem with that. And that's a good idea, Chazzy. And if you, as a food and drink person, if you can have somebody that's running that farm but supplies you with your food sources so you don't have to talk about how the commodities have gone up and you can't afford it anymore, that sounds like a winner to me. Your family still buys fresh meat. I'm coming on down. So at the end of the day, I want us to think about all of these things. I want us to recognize that there's another way. It's more than one way to skin a cat. And I want us to begin looking at what are our options. We have options, y'all. Don't sit here and think I'm locked into this system and I can't get out. We have options. We have choices. It's just a matter of setting our mind and setting our energy, our boss energy to do it. Okay. Now I know I've gone a little bit over, y'all. I'm sorry about that. But listen, I mean like I said, I mean Jesus every step of the way. I mean every word I'm saying. I mean every word that I'm saying. And I mean it. I really, really do. So as we get ready to get out of here, your boss energy, let's pay attention to what we're putting in our bodies. And even as we look at Wendy's being sold, and that's how we got on this trajectory right here and the conversation that resulted thereof. As we look at Wendy's about to be sold, y'all didn't, I know y'all love Wendy's, but at the end of the day, can you name the stuff that's in that food? Can you name the chemicals that food is full of? Get you some fresh meat, get you some fresh food, get you some fresh vegetables. You'll appreciate, you'll be glad that you did. You'll be glad that you did. Let me get out of here. I had some new people in here today. Listen, come through. I had some friends. I had some loved ones. A whole lot of poison out there. A whole lot of poison. And they're trying to kill us. That's exactly what we were talking about when we got here, Chazzy. So thank you that. Phyllis, it's so good to have you today. Thank you for coming in, sis. That's my sister from another mother. I saw Lavinia in here. Come through, sis. So much love to you. I saw my brother back. Brother Bishop Ronald B. Andrews, that's my guy, Mr. Integrity. I appreciate you. And again, the Eagle has landed. Gerald Ballou, all of you guys that came in from Facebook, I appreciate you all for coming on up in here. To everybody that's here, I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you for coming in the room. To all of the streamers that are here, so much appreciation. You didn't have to come in, as did anyone. No one had to come in, but you did. So at the end of the day, that's why God is reconnecting us. I agree with that. Simply amazing. That's why God is reconnecting us to folk. And everybody brings something to the table. And the different things that we need, let's resource amongst ourselves. Maybe there's somebody that does that. Maybe there's somebody that's their expertise. Maybe there's somebody that knows that. We won't know unless we get to know one another. That's the first hurdle to overcome. Let's get to know one another. Let's get to know. Man, I had no idea. And I'm going to go back to Fairly all day. Fairly has to be the one person that sure enough blew me out of the water. I had no idea Fairly all day had all the experience and all the knowledge. And not that she struck me any other kind of way. I just did not know. And this is the thing. We've got to get to know each other. We've got to understand how we flow, how we think, how we operate, what we do. I think I heard Go Ratty say he's in the technology area with computers and whatnot. We just have no idea the wealth of knowledge that's in the Lion's Den as you all come in here. I hope that we're going to get to know each other so that we can know how to network, how to come together, how to communicate, and just how to be friends. It's not always I'm coming to you to get something from you. I want to come against that mentality. I'm not just getting to know you because I want to get what you got. No, ma'am. No, sir. I want to be relational. That's what life is about. She's so knowledgeable, but has the most humble spirit, Michelle. And that's why I love Fairly all day. I love her. I just absolutely listen. My family, my brother-in-law told me to ask her, could she come to Holiday and eat with the family? And he's very serious. He ain't playing. He's like, can you invite Fairly all day? Tell her we want her to come to that. That's just how much impact Fairly has had. And Fairly is all that, as are many of you. I love you guys. I'm gonna get out of here because I just keep going. But listen, let's get to know each other. Let's share the love together. Dr. Dady Priest is my girl. I love her. I love her. Crazy Berrytown is my girl. Crazy Berrytown will be on today at 12 noon Eastern time. If you want to get your body in shape, Zumba will be going at 12 o'clock noon. So when she does, she'll be there. Come on, Michelle. I'm telling you, main man wasn't playing. He was like, I was talking to him and said, I want to ask Fairly all day if she'll come have a holiday dinner with us. He's for real. So at the end of the day, that's what we're doing. We're building bridges. We're loving on each other. We're getting to know people that we've never known before, would not have known if it hadn't been a pandemic. So thank God for the pandemic. And thank God for each of you. I love you. I really, really do. Now let's get out of here. Well, I feel for my brother and I feel for my sister. This has been another edition of Yes You O Cubed, one-on-one, just me and you. And I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I'm so glad that you joined me on this fine day. Now listen, I want you all to copy that raid message because we're going to go share some love on these Twitch streets with somebody else when we get up out of here. I want you to just know that there's so much love, there's so much power, there's so much boss energy that each of you walk in. Do not underestimate the power that is in you to get the job done. I promise you, if we band together, we can do this thing, and it's happening. Now, you can follow me out there, y'all. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Patreon, Twitter, Twitch, Anchor, Discord, and more. I'm out there, folks, and you can follow me because we going somewhere. Listen, at the end of the day, we don't have a spirit of fear. DJ Leo the Great, thank you for those 9 months. Good morning to you, sir. I just saw you. So much love to you. If you're not following DJ Leo the Great, please follow my brother. Now, no, I don't have a spirit of intimidation. I don't have a spirit of fear. I have power. I have love, and I have a sound mind. And I am all powerful in love, as Disco Darren is doing his thing on the screen. Please follow him. Now, as we come on down, listen, we're not just talking about change. We understand that we want to be the change. And this Pride Alliance, this PRIDE, this Pride Alliance is relentless, and you're going to hear us roar. And you're not doing it alone. It's us, you, me, we, all. we're all in this together, y'all. We're all in this together. We support one another. We love one another. We're there for each other. That's the way we do it in the Lion's Den. Now listen here. You have been in not the den of iniquity, but the den of activity. And Lion support has been coming from so many people. Thank you for that raid train, because you didn't have to do it, but you did. I want to thank you for the Roaring Biddies fairly all day. Rank, thank you for the Roaring Biddies, Kai Chick, BTD Mom, SK8843, Tall Pumps, MCP812, Go Ratty, Brown Eyes 777, and Crazy Berrytown. Thank you for those Roaring Biddies, because they're going to go towards a good cause again. We're going somewhere. The Rebel Inc., Michelle Browno, Shelly Thunder. Yes, my blessed Trinity. They are all that in a bag of chips. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for the new followers in the Lion's Den today. Jellyman 200, Teresa Gray 1961. Thank you so much. I appreciate those resubs and the subs. SK8843, MCP812, Baby Doll, he calls me Lady T, Joanna G98, Disco Darren 1966, Samus 4, Juan Carlos Botcher, Sight Giver, DJ Freak Fire, TC Cooper 2685, Simply Kim 617, King Cool J wins 2000, and DJ Leo the Great. Thank you for those resubs. And of course, the raid by the one, the only LaWanda Baskerville. Big Moochie baby. And you know how we say it. My moderator says, Shelly Thunder, have an awesome day on purpose. Have an amazing day on purpose. And you know how we say it. Peace for your journey.